Not have followed the proper channel.
What proper channels do you know?
Huh? You see, who say, there is not know even though the majority of lecturers at Kafira be expatriates. Because they have to learn not to criticize policies that you know nothing about.
Do you know they only acted referees in a match between ourselves? Where we fight against each other?
Who say that? Who say we fight each other? They cross the border and river and call themselves intellectual. They all abuse that a symbol of national security and a lot of public funds go into time and wasted and bring a situation back to normal. They want retarded progress, not progress.
I refuse to kneel down for theoretical progress.
Then become a student now. That's
Will you shut up, you heartless brute?
Bruce, where did you get that from? Huh?
Get out of my
Hey,
sight.
all right, I'm sort of, I didn't know it will affect you. All right.
Get out of my sight now.
Now, what do you think you are doing, huh? This you will pay for it, you know.
Go shoot your mouth elsewhere. My friend, why?
Next time you call me friend, you lose your teeth. I don't know why you think I'm a better man than you. Do you think I live of answering such foolish questions? Now, you are in, I'm outside. If that doesn't make sense, something else will.
A lot of things don't make sense to me. You included.
My God! You are in the wrong place. Place for lunatics is 3 doors down the corridor.
You mean 3 doors up the corridor?
That would land you into more trouble. 3 doors up the corridor is the office of the head of this institution.
Is he in or out?
In! And he won't be of any help to you when I start educating you.
Has it ever occurred to you that the outside of this cell might be the inside of another one?
Look, my friend, people don't question things here. You will make your own life more unbearable.
I know. Do you know chameleons?
I've had enough of you and your chameleons.
They are masters of environmental adaptation.
You waste your time. Now I see why you try to make yourself champion of justice, bleeding meaningless words.
My experience during the last few weeks has made it necessary that I talk. It is as if I have been born again. I had never felt so confident in my life.
And that's why you are best ignored. Here I'm wasting time talking to you instead of helping others filling in forms for your rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation? For only 2 days?
Yes, you need it. It's the only way out of here. You see, we have research stations dotted all over the countryside. Experiments at these research stations state that rehabilitation is invaluable for all those who pass through here. You should be thankful that despite your contribution to national headache, we still give your life some consideration.
I'm now grateful to know what awaits of me. I didn't know you took such pains.
Experts were imported to give meaning to this data. It wasn't the kind of work that any of these local pretenders would handle.
I see your point. No previous experience, eh?
Don't cut me short. You do the listening, I talk.
You work like the meteorological department. No questions into method used. No assurance.
Ah, I see. You've come to stay. What has the meteorological department got to do with what goes on here?
They advise people to spread out blankets. Then, rain falls from the seemingly clear skies. By then, it is too late to fetch for umbrellas. Who is he?
A more sensible man than you. Used to be drug addicts. Hey! You! What do you think you are doing? Showing us your back?
I have no front. Dead right? Shake 5. Shake 5.
Shut up, you! Can't you talk?
It is prudent to be silent. My time prove I'm dumb.
Dead right once more. It is amazing the people you bring here.
I said everything in investigation, all I had to say, but it did not help. Words have lost meaning to me. Rehabilitation, nationalization, Africanization. What do all these words mean? What is Africanization in your mother tongue?
Don't ask me any foolish question. You answer him. What is Africanization in your mother tongue?
Do you and I share mother tongue?
Correct. Now, don't ask me any other foolish question. I am here to see that you ask no question.
Then why were you so uneasy when I was silent a little while ago? Why do you not stop me from asking questions?
It is a perfect example of what goes on outside. No one needs to know what...
You are wrong. Our assessment has never been wrong. Take this fella, for example. They brought him in last night. He was all questioned. We calculated that too mature straw could ease the tension. It worked perfectly. And that's where the research stations come in. Like all liquids have different boiling points. Incidentally, I did pure physics up to and including O level. So what I was trying to tell you is this. Like all liquids have different boiling points, all human beings have different breaking points. At your trial, there was enough evidence that your breaking point will be just before your present jail term. Your friend here is 2 years weaker than you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Sometimes I wonder why a man of your understanding should have taken this job. I honestly think you're in the wrong place.
Many prisoners say that to me, but it's just because they don't understand Kafira. If they do, a lot of them would not be prisoners. You see, it doesn't pay to have a hot mouth. Perhaps you are right when you said silence is the best sheep hole, but only you realize it too late. It's now a common knowledge that you are a great talker. But if you decide to be silent, then you'll have to explain what is it that you are keeping silent of. That is how prisons work. You have to show a kind of consistency of character, at the same time show a marked improvement.
In that case, there cannot be hope.
There is. Remember what I told you last night? It's the only chance of your life. You can't stick to your principles. No, not here. That's what I told that student at the mental hospital. He took my advice and he will be discharged tomorrow.
You mean the boy whose brother was killed?
Yes, he has recovered. But he has nothing to go back to. His parents were found dead in their heart.
His parents dead?
Yes, dead. Perhaps that's why he has been pardoned.
Will you do me a favor?
What?
Ask him to see me before he leaves. I have a message for him to take me to my sister.
Tell your sister to be careful. That boy's head will never be straight.
I like the boy. He's so much like his brother and like me.
But remember what I told you last night? It's the only way I can help you. And that way, you will see I'm not blind to these things.
I can't see myself doing it.
All the same, think about it. I don't need an answer now. But don't listen to this fool. He will poison your mind.
Hey, you! Return my book. The senior officer said I should keep it.
The senior officer said so? Did he? Tell him I said no. We don't want more trouble with you.
You came with books?
Only one book.
A novel?
No.
A play?
No. A Bible. I am a religious man.
You?
Yes. I am a believer. I believe in traveling light. That is why I carried the book.
The Bible is a curious thing to deny someone. Why did they do it?
You see, we were two of us, two strangers in a cell. We were very bored just sitting there and staring at each other. That is why we decided to do it, just to pass time.
Don't tell me you bent so low.
You draw conclusion too soon.
That is what prison does to a man. But I wasn't always like this. There were times in my past when I never drew conclusions. There were indeed times when I never fetched my umbrella at the sight of clouds, however dark. Now, that is only a thing of the past.
Yes, a thing of the past, like the last night game. Do you remember Pilate?
Pilate? Yes. Pilate is supposed to have humiliated Jesus.
Yes, he actually caned him. Not many of us come by such an opportunity.
Opportunity?
Yes, opportunity. Opportunity of stripping a king and caning his battle. In a way, it was a pity. It had to be Pilate. Can you imagine the sense it would have been if it was a common man doing the caning?
I'm not with you.
No, it would have been positive. As positive as the right sick eye is plucked out, lest it affect the other one.
You seem to be quite at home with the Bible.
Yes. I taught religious education for 3 years before I was drafted into army.
You're a soldier?
I was, until I came face to face with the reality. They sent me to my sub-location to go and restore peace and order. It only took me 2 days to make up my mind. My friend, there is fire outside.
That is not a new one. That fire has always been there ever since the takeover. Mind you, things were worse before.
I thought hard before I made up my mind. Then I said to myself, if they take you in, carry a Bible with you. It might restore your faith in humanity, but it hasn't. You need first-hand experience. You need to live the life of those you fight for. That is why it is important not only to read this Pilate story, but to live it. Only then can you understand that situation and link it with ours. Perhaps that is why it was strangely fulfilling acting Pilate in a cell.
Is that why they took the book from you?
Yes, my co-actor cried out. I wonder he had the guts to go against the law. I was Pilate and he was Christ. That was unfortunate casting. I had wanted to be Christ, but he wouldn't hear of it. When it came to caning, he wailed like a woman in a dead home. And when the guards came, I tried explaining to them that I was just fulfilling the script, but they couldn't hear none of it. They stripped me naked and caned me. They also took the book away. That to them was an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But then it was wrong. They should have let him do it. Strange. I think you and I will get on well together. Fancy me talking to you, and yet I don't know you. I am Jerry Kaleke.
I am Professor Watonga.
Professor Watonga? Why did you take on such a name? I'm sorry. I'm glad to meet you.
Me too.
Professor Watonga. It is a curious name.
You know, it means remember the past. I took it the day after I was arrested. A strange way to be loyal. Do you remember the great row over changing of names?
Only vaguely.
Blows were exchanged in the planning committee over whether changing of names should be item number 1 or number 3 in the development plan. Boss had just changed his name, hence the anxiety of some members to put it top. I changed mine for a different reason. I had no choice but to change it.
How is that?
You see, the day before they arrested me, I attended a funeral. One of my students had been murdered in cold blood. His brother has been here, but he is to be released tomorrow.
Is he the one that Kari was talking about?
Yes.
I see. I think
You think what?
never mind.
I have never seen anything like it before. The atmosphere was tense at the funeral. I thought for once, things would change in Kafira. But during speeches, I learned the bitter truth. Kafira wasn't going to change after all. No, not because of the death of one small student. A handful of politicians tried to change the funeral service into a political rally. The service must not take more than 10 minutes. A coffin should not be carried by students. Weeping in public is illegal for the academic staff. I couldn't bear it, so I told them my mind. The following day, they came for me.
What did they charge you with? Weeping in public?
No, being in possession of an illegal drug. 1 kilogram of opium. When they searched my car, they sure enough found the drug. I laughed. I have heard similar stories, but I never thought it will ever happen to me. The man who planted it on me was called Nicodemus. Nicodemus was my name too, but I dropped it the following day.
I would have done the same. You have been in here for 1 year, isn't it?
Yes, how did you know?
I've heard about you. I even know your sister.
Who, Regina?
Yes. Does she visit you?
She comes twice a month. They won't allow her to come often.
She must find it hard to go without you.
She's too soft for a prisoner's sister. Too soft. I saw it in her eyes when she came yesterday. I saw betrayal in her eyes. Stood in front of me and said she wanted to go and plead for my release. I nearly slapped her. What weakness.
Perhaps she knows you stand a chance. Is that why the Askari was saying you have some hope?
No, that's different and more ridiculous. They'll have me clown on stage before I am released. That isn't certainty either.
Clown on stage? Whatever for?
A certain head of state is due to visit Kafira in a few weeks' time. Now, because of his love for the dramatic, boss has decided that a play to be performed for the visiting head of state as part of his entertainment. The ridiculous part of it is that he wants the play to be performed by prisoners.
That's not funny. Why?
It will symbolize national unity. It will show prisoners actively involved in national building.
What then has that to do with your release?
If the exercise is a success, they have promised the release of 600 prisoners.
I see. I think we should volunteer, even if we won't be released.
I can't bend so low.
That to me is not bending so low. It is sacrificing one's dignity in order to rescue others from an inevitable misery. Just think of those 600 families that will be reunited.
I can't do it. Among my friends, this will be equivalent to kneeling in front of boss and pleading for mercy. Same thing as my sister wanted to do. This will imply guilt, and I'm not guilty of anything.
Here, tea with milk. Yet you don't belong even to my tribe. You need tall relatives to get anything these days. And you, because you think I'm a junior officer, you feed on your saliva. Do you know what we call it?
Tea with milk.
Nonsense. The term is selective breeding.
Progressive layers of humanity. It prevents an epidemic of breaking point.
Unless you be careful, I will recommend that you be shifted to that other cell. I don't believe they are any crazier than you.
What was that for? Trouble in one of the cells. Here, take a seat before he comes.
Thank you. It is the only way to beat selective breeding.
That is why I don't believe in such crap as the last shall be the first, and blessed are the poor, for they shall inherit the kingdom of heaven. For years we waited for the kingdom. Then they said it had come. Our kingdom had come at last. But no, it was only an illusion. How many of us have set eyes upon that kingdom? What color is it?
I wouldn't know, but I guess blood red.
It was better while we waited. Now we have got nothing to look forward to. We have killed our past and are busy killing the future. Sometimes I sit here and look far into the past. There I see my mother slaughtering the biggest family cock. Once every year, she slaughtered a senior cock to mark the birth of Christ. Our children will never have such memories. Now there's blood everywhere. Cocks are slaughtered any day, many times a week.
Change will come.
Perhaps that is why I prefer to wait and see. I will stay here and remain loyal to my principles.
It will not come that way. You have to make up your mind and participate in that play. That way, you will come face to face with boss. You will give him reason to feel ashamed of. Oh, that way, you will have given him something to feel ashamed of.
You talk like that, Askari. He sees me silent and thinks I'm about to break. But he's wrong. He doesn't realize that silence is a weapon just like any other. You don't have to give legal public lectures to reveal what it is I sit on. We all know what should be done. But we dare not talk beyond whispers. We are dictators of ourselves. Buying my release by acting in front of a visiting head of state would be to betray our cause. Why do people sit and watch in silence as the disease spreads deep inside? I will never forgive them. They sat and watched in silence as soldiers beat up my innocent sister, forcing her to give evidence against me.
You mean they...
Brutes! Murderers! Beat up my innocent sister until she lost hearing in 1 year. Why beat up a woman? Why didn't they beat me?
I'm sorry.
What did you say? What did I hear you say? Now listen, you. I hate people who say that to me. I hate people who sympathize with me.
Moses, you need some rest.
What was that noise for? Fighting again? You senseless brute. You are in the other cell, there was trouble. Now you are here, there's more trouble. Do you know I've seen people hung for serious offenses?
I know. Innocence can be offense.
Next time you cause the trouble here, you want to know when I climb on you.
Leave us alone. You don't understand our language.
Routing in a public cell is not a language. I give you just one more chance. If you cause any
There's
more...
no trouble here. Go look for trouble elsewhere.
You don't fit to be above the ground. You mole. And just in case you didn't know, I've once killed a man in this very cell.
Congratulations. How did you manage it?
I'm now convinced that you are more insane. Give me this mug and sleep.